Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2 and Text 2. Priyavrata Uttānapāda Priyavratottānapāda Sutau Svāyambhuvasya Vai Sutau Svāyambhuvasya Vai Yatha Dharmam Jugupatuhu Yatha Dharmam Jugupatuhu Sapta Dvipavati Mahim Sapta Dvipavati Mahim Priyavratottānapādo Sutau Swāyambhuvasya Vai Yatha Dharmam Jugupatuhu Saptadvipavati Mahim. Priyavrata, Maharaj Priyavrata, Uttānapāda and Maharaj Uttānapāda, Sutau, the two sons, Svāyambhuvasya of Svāyambhuva Manu. Why, indeed, Yatha, according to Dharmam, religious principles, Jugupatuhu, rule, Saptadvipavatim, consisting of 7 islands, Mahim, the world. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation, the two great sons of Svāyambhuva Manu, Priyavrata and Uttānapāda, ruled the world consisting of 7 islands, just according to religious principles. Please repeat, the two great sons of Svāyambhuva Manu, Priyavrata and Uttānapāda, ruled the world consisting of 7 islands, just according to religious principles. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam is also a history of the great rulers of different parts of the universe. In this verse, the names of Priyavrata and Uttānapāda, sons of Swayambhuva, are mentioned. They ruled this earth, which is divided into 7 islands. These 7 islands are still current as Asia, Europe, Africa, America, Australia, and the North and South Poles. There is no chronological history of all the Indian kings in Srimad Bhagavatam, but the deeds of the most important kings, such as Priyavrata and Uttānapāda, and many others like Lord Ramachandra and Maharaj Yudhishthira, are recorded because the activities of such pious kings are worth hearing. People may benefit by studying these histories. Asansta Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyana Timirandhasya Dhananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is Vidura is asking Maitreya about the activities of Svāyambhuva Manu, and in this particular verse he is asking about Sutau Svāyambhuvasya Vai, about the sons of Svāyambhuva Manu. And he has two sons, Priyavrata Uttānapāda, Maharaj Priyavrata and then Maharaj Uttānapāda. And then Vidura is saying, Yatha dharmam jugupatuhu. They have ruled Saptadvipavatim Mahim. They have ruled this entire earth, which is consisting of Saptadvipa, 7 islands. Yatha dharmam, according to dharma, according to religious principles. So he is wanting to know about the history of Swāyambhuva Manu and his two great stalwart children, Priyavrata and Uttānapāda. So Prabhupada is mentioning that Srimad Bhagavatam is a history of the great rulers of different parts of the universe. Srimad Bhagavatam is not describing the history of some Indian kings. No. Srimad Bhagavatam is describing the history of great rulers of the entire universe. And what is the criteria? Bhagavatam has Yatha dharmam jugupatuhu. They would have followed the Bhagavad Dharma in order to rule. And if such a rule is there in any part of the universe, Bhagavatam has depicted such histories. And so here interesting, Saptadvipavatim Mahim. Previously, the entire Mahi, the earthly planet consisting of 7 islands, they were ruled by one emperor, one king. And such histories are depicted. And Prabhupada is also saying that depictions are not chronological. This is one more point. The history which is depicted in Bhagavatam is not chronologically depicted. That means today this happened, tomorrow this happened, day after. It's not time-wise. It is about a king which has ruled this entire planet, yatha dharmam, according to religious principle. That's the criteria. Not time. Currently there are many historians, they compile histories. Some people compose some stories. But they're all based on their own criteria. The historians generally they try to say what happened in this century or in this century. The past events are collected and then they are compiled into some books. And then of course there are stories also about some personalities, their biography, so many things are there in the marketplace. But Bhagavatam is different, and its compilation of the history is based on these exalted activities of these personalities like Priyavrata and Uttānapāda. Now if by studying these histories, because these histories are connected to pious kings, by studying these histories, what will happen? Prabhupada is saying they will certainly will get benefited. Once one student he asked me this question. He said there is a popular story by name Harry Potter, and so this boy has read all those, and that particular story, a story series, I don't know what it's just exactly inside, because so that story has become very popular, and there are some series, movie series, there are books, and there are paraphernalia, all developed on the basis of this Harry Potter, and people started showing those symbols. If there is a bat, they'll put and it says Harry Potter and all that. That's the kind of popularity it got. So this question the student was asking, what is the guarantee that this Bhagavatam or Ramayana or Mahabharata, they are not like stories like this Harry Potter. They have become very popular, like Harry Potter has become very popular. So similarly, all these are simply some creations of some powerful writer, and they have become very popular, and then that's how we are now considering them as some epics or some Shastra. What if Harry Potter becomes in the future some Shastra, some epic or some Shastra? How do I understand? So, any such composition like Harry Potter and all that, they may become popular, but one has to see what is the effect it is creating. What effect it has created in the lives of the people who are studying those particular things nicely. What is the effect? So here Prabhupada is saying, by reading the histories of these great personalities which are described in Bhagavatam, their lives will get benefited. What is that benefit? So Bhagavatam itself describes what is the benefit. I was just seeing this. There is one King Prithu. His story is there in Bhagavatam. In the end of the story, the Bhagavatam says, anybody who reads the story of King Prithu and his glorious activities, he will get liberated and he will go back to Krishna, go back to Godhead. Now this is the criteria. By reading Bhagavatam, one can go back to Godhead. One can be freed from the effects of the modes. He can get liberated. His sinful tendencies and sinful life will come to an end. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. Tadvag visargo janataga viplava. There will be a revolution in the impious lives of the civilization. This is the effect of Bhagavatam. So, it is a revolution, viplava. Bhagavatam is creating a silent, a different kind of a revolution. What is that? Janata agha. Agha means sinful lives. The current civilization is progressing in such a way that the sinful activities are increasing day by day. People are drawn towards sinful activities day by day. And the kind of literature which is available, the kind of movies that are there, the kind of content that is available, it is all encouraging them to go in the same direction, the sinful life or the impious life. But whereas Bhagavatam, when somebody reads Bhagavatam, there is a revolution in his heart. It creates a change. Otherwise, so that's why it is mentioned in Bhagavatam. This is a famous shloka where it says, Tadvag visargo janataga viplava yasmin pratishlokam abaddhavati. If this Bhagavatam or any composition, Vak visarga. Visarga means creation of vak, vocabulary. So, let us say somebody composes something, a literary work he composes, and then he has come up with nice shlokas also. And this shloka, the Bhagavatam is saying, even if it is composed abaddhavati, improperly, irregularly composed, that means, in terms of the literary point of view, it may not be a perfect composition, but then why it will create a revolution? Because namani anantasya yashonkitani yat shunvanti gayanti gurunanti sadavaha. Because this literature consists of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, form, pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord. This is the difference. If somebody composes, of course Bhagavatam is that composition. If somebody composes any of the literary works, he writes a book, or he makes a video, or he makes a PPT, or whatever, if it has glorification of Krishna, the name, fame, pastimes of Krishna, then that will create a revolution in the consciousness of that person. Actually, this is a very important point. Prabhupada used to quote about his gurus, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's pastime. His disciples used to write articles for the magazines. Harmonist magazine was initiated by Bhaktisiddhanta, and then the disciples used to write articles and some content for it. So when the article comes to Bhaktisiddhanta for verification, Prabhupada explains how his guru used to approve. So Bhaktisiddhanta used to read the article, and then he says how many times he has mentioned Krishna and Lord Chaitanya's name. And in the article has many of such names, Krishna, Chaitanya, like that. Then he says, all right, it's very good. Rest of the things, whether they are according to literary standards, is it up to the mark? That is not the consideration. Abaddhavati api, doesn't matter. So, because it has the name of the Lord, it has descriptions, transcendental descriptions connected to glories of Krishna. Bhaktisiddhanta used to say yes, past. Now you can publish that in the magazine. See, this is the criteria. Any composition, any literature, or any class, or any article, any composition like that is successful if there is a name of Krishna, or if there is a name of Lord Chaitanya, or if there is a name of Srila Prabhupada. If it is such names are there, then visargaha, revolution. Actually, Prabhupada, when he is writing his books, once he makes this statement. He says, yes, it is a revolution. That is what I think as I write on, and Prabhupada is writing on and on, that's what he thinks. A revolution to change the entire course of human being. A revolution to change the entire course of the human being. This is what the effect of reading Srila Prabhupada books, or reading Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. It brings in a change, heart changes. How many people changed by reading Harry Potter? and decided to shave up and join a movement 24 hours serving Krishna. Tell me, how many are there reading this Harry Potter? Nobody. They may be carrying some potters they have become, but they are not carrying bead bags. They are not decided to give up their sinful activities. No. So this literature, which is nicely ornamentally described, which has got beautiful words and very unique combination of these words, and describe wonderful scenarios, and then colorfully printed, and such books like Harry Potter. What does Bhagavatam say about that? It says they are all Nayad vachaschitra padam hare yasho jagat pavitram pragunita karhiche tadvaya samtidham ushanti manasa nayatra hamsa niramanti vushikshaya. Now Bhagavatam says such books are called those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Vayasa means crow, Tidha means a pilgrimage for crows. Saintly person goes to Chardham, Vrindavan, Mayapur, like that. Crows also have a pilgrimage. Where will they go? They will go to places where all this useless stuff is there. Since all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. So, people who have no idea of the glories of the Lord, they get attracted to these literatures. Because people are not trained up and they are interested only in sense gratification, they get attracted to the literature which glorifies sense gratification. People like that content. If the sense gratification is glorified in colorful words, describing all the details, painting interesting pictures, they like that kind of a literature. And then if the sense gratification is promoted and encouraged and enhanced through these literatures and content, then what will happen? Wars. Simply people will fight with each other. Quarreling means sense gratification. This is the scenario. So people are lamenting why there are so many wars. How can we stop all these wars? It's a good feeling that they want to stop the wars. And the solutions are not approved by authorities. It's not according to yatha dharmam. Some leaders are worried. What is the solution? How do we stop? But they don't know how to rule yatha dharmam according to dharma, dharmic principles, particularly Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma begins with chanting and hearing, Shravana Kirtana. This is the beginning, Bhagavad Dharma. So any leader who rules the world according to Dharma, he will introduce these two to start with. Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu. About Vishnu, there will be a lot of Shravana and Kirtana. See, this is the direction in which a ruler who is yatha dharma ruled, Jugupatuhu, his first step will be to introduce chanting and hearing of the glories of Krishna. This is the first step. And as soon as they hear this, simply by hearing Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, every day, the other day we were discussing, simply by hearing, then he will become fixed up in his devotional service. He will continue to chant, continue to render his services. And what is the effect of that? Tadha rajastamo bhava. This attraction towards kama, lobha, adhaya, adhi, kama, lobha, etc. will be minimized. Then what will happen? Sthitam statve, he will come to sattva. Then what will happen? Evam prasanna manaso, he will come to peace, his mind will become peaceful. Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha. So these are the beautiful shlokas of Bhagavatam. The impact of Bhagavatam is that people will become prasanna manasa. Now you want prasanna manasa, you don't want any quarrels, you don't want any fightings. Fightings are all done by people who are not prasanna manasa. They are disturbed people. They want some things. So that's why they fight, they quarrel. Particularly for sense gratification. So, but if somebody becomes prasanna manasa, so happy in performing devotional service to Krishna, then where is the question of all these quarrels and difficulties? So this is the situation. But the whole civilization is geared up in such a way, they produce such a content every day. I heard in YouTube they post, I don't know what is the number, almost per week or something, 1 billion videos. Millions and millions of videos are uploaded. Oh, very nice. What are those videos? Vayasa Tirtha. If you go there, it's all Vayasa Tirtha means refused garbage. Let us say there is a crow and there is a swan. There are two birds are there. And then you put one Radha Govinda. You put one nice lotus flower, which is yesterday Narasimha is carrying. You put one lotus flower, and just next to it you put one some pus and all those mucus and pus, and you put these two birds. The crow will not stop at the lotus flower. It will see, but it will not stop there. It is attracted to that pus and stool and this and that. Whereas the swan, although you may put it through like this, it will not stop at that. It doesn't like it. It goes towards the lotus flower. You can see the mentality, attitude. This is the... Similarly, devotees are not interested in this Vayasa Tirtha. Why is this called refused stuff? These are all, garbage. Why it is called garbage? This stuff, this Vayasa Tirtha, what is this content? This content is simply a combination of four: eating, sleeping, mating and defending. That's all. In all these millions and millions of videos which are getting uploaded, there is no other subject than these four: eating, sleeping, mating. I was just trying to understand what is the most popular video in the YouTube. Then they said it's actually connected to some music. I said, wow, music is the popular content on YouTube actually. And our whole movement is connected to music. So much music you can produce. But anyway, I was, one video, it has reached almost, I don't know, maybe millions, it has crossed millions, reaching almost 1 billion, it's like that. Then I said, what is that? Is it small children? And the music is about baby shark dance. This is some baby shark and dance. That is the title, and it has millions and millions of views. Baby shark dance, baby dog dance, baby this dance, that dance. People are seeing this content like anything. And if you post our Bhagavatam class, You will see some 50, 60, 100 people, they will be interested. This is the world. Civilization. And they want peace of mind. Prasanna manasa, they want. How? You put all garbage. And then you think that some nice thing should come out of you. It will not possible. If you see a behavior, a nasty behavior, and you put it inside, a nasty behavior will come out. What you eat, that's what you produce. It will come out. Grass body eats food. Subtle body eats this content. Whatever is this knowledge, whatever content, subtle body eats that. So what it produces only nasty things. If you see indecent stuff, and you are absorbed and you are glorifying, then we will become indecent. This principle is known to many people still. In fact, some of the parents and responsible leaders, they are actually concerned how to control this internet, how to control this YouTube, how to control all this so much content that is there, isn't it? Now they are thinking of safe browsing. There are some new things are coming. Safe browsing means if the boy or the child trying to browse into some unwanted voice, then immediately the internet, there is a firewall or something which will cut off that browsing. And then the child is thinking, how I can transcend this firewall so that I can see what I want to see. This is the problem. So, it is the responsibility of the devotees to create that taste in these people. Prabhupada was so much concerned that his books should be published and distributed far and wide. Why is that? Because if somebody reads one or two lines and if that strikes him, or at least he'll say, oh, this is nice, looks like it's nice. Any appreciation is called Shraddha. If you can make somebody say, this is nice Prabhu, this is nice Swamiji, that means you are instilling Shraddha. And that his journey has begun. His journey has begun. So that's why devotees, they should speak Bhagavatam, or they should describe the temple activities, or the various things that are connected to this movement in such a way that people appreciate. They should appreciate. This is the great. Because the moment he appreciates, his journey has begun. There is a revolution in his direction, in his life. I will tell you one example of the difference between Vayasatidha and transcendental descriptions. We wanted to present Prabhupada's biography in Telugu. And so we were trying to look for an author who can do this job. Unfortunately, we got one of the leading authors to do it, and he has done really a wonderful job. He has presented the pastimes of the spiritual master, Prabhupada's pastimes, but in his own style. In some places, Abadhavati api may not be composed exactly according to our standards. Maybe here and there you will see he has added his own this thing, Abadhavati. But still, he has nicely glorified, or rather he presented the glorification of Prabhupada as it is. And after he completed that book, actually he himself is a writer of so many books. Before that he has written many books. And in fact he has written books on how to break habits. And then on personality development, he wrote so many books. He is considered an authority or a guru. Of course, we have nothing to comment on it. So at the end of this book, completing this book, then we asked him, okay, you wrote this book. What is the change that you felt? When he wrote books on breaking habits, personality development, blah blah, all these things, he could not break his own one habit which is haunting him for last 40 years. He could not break it. But when he wrote Prabhupada's biography in Telugu, at the end of it, he gave up that 40-year-old very bad habit, just like that. You can see this is the difference. There is a revolution in his life. Viplava. Although he himself produced a lot of literature, that's all called Vayasatirtha. There is no change, there is no impact. So, if the content is encouraging passion, ignorance and this and that, and the person will only become passionate and ignorant. He cannot become a sadhu. Let us say in a movie you show murderers from beginning to end, only murder, murder, murder. And then after he comes out of the theatre and you expect him to be a sadhu, he should not do any murder. Not possible. What you put in, it will come out. It will come out. That's why very dangerous. We should not divert our mind to these Vayasatirthas. Let us not develop crow mentality. We should become swans. That's why pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada, they are known as Paramahamsa. Hamsa means a swan who is always attracted to Krishna. So Paramahamsa, Parivrajaka. So Prabhupada has propagated this message. So this is our responsibility. The devotees who are reading Bhagavatam, who are reading Bhagavad Gita, they have a great response, particularly for Indians. What is that? This message has to be spread wide and far in whatever way we have capacity and whatever way possible. We may not be very good in our language. We may not be very good in our presentation skills. We may not be very articulative, but it doesn't matter. Even if one person understands one word, his life will change. And then if we can somehow give one book to, Srila Prabhupada's book to that soul, and then if he reads one or two lines there, his life will change. There are innumerable pastimes where Prabhupada has created a revolution in the lives of people just by one line. Just by one line. An intelligent person, he read one line, his life changed. So this is the glory of Srila Prabhupada's books and content. And Prabhupada himself is saying, these books are going to create revolution. So devotees should be eager, first of all, to read nicely, particularly Prabhupada books. Read and develop your depth and then present it to people. Whoever you see. Now whom to present? Should I look only for some intelligent people and this? No, whoever you see. Yara deko tare koho, Krishna Upadesh. This is Mahaprabhu's movement. You may see apparently not very educated, apparently is looking like not very educated or coming from a very lower status, or he may be looking very, rich or aristocratic or whatever. In both the cases, a devotee is not holding this knowledge. He is trying to give it off. Mahaprabhu never said you give only to some elevated people. He said, whoever you see, the only qualification is that you have to see. And if you see, immediately he is eligible to receive this knowledge. This is the beauty. So, as devotees of Srila Prabhupada, our goal should be how I can present this philosophy far and wide. To everybody that I see, I come in contact. This should be our goal. We'll stop here. శ్రీ ప్రభుపాద కీ జై, శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం కీ జై.
శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని అందరికీ అందించటానికి బృందావనం వైపు ఉరకలేస్తున్న యమునోత్రి. విష్ణుపాదమే తన పుట్టినిల్లుగా కైలాసం చేరుకోవడానికి పరుగులు తీస్తున్న గంగోత్రి. కురుక్షేత్ర ఘోరహత్యా పాపం శంకరుణ్ణి శాంతపరచడం లక్ష్యంగా పాండవులు నిర్మించిన కేదార్నాథ్. సమస్త సాధు పుంగవులకు, ఋషులకు, ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధనకు స్ఫూర్తినిచ్చే నరనారాయణులను నడయాడిన ప్రదేశం బద్రీనాథ్. శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని అందరికీ అందించటానికి బృందావనం